Hey everybody, it's another exciting episode of the Brian Boyer Show. My name's Mickey Ryan, as always here with the coach, Brian Boyer. Coach, another first place episode of the Brian Boyer Show. I never tire of saying that.
I hope we keep it going for at least a couple more weeks. Anyway, we're not quite as far in first place as we were, but we are still hanging on to first place.
I know in the last show we talked about just what was to come, and you and I, it's not like we don't work in the same hallway, offices right next to each other, and when we pass, we talk about things and what's going on, and we were looking at this past week's road trip, and do you get both? Do you get one? And you may have even said something like, if we come back with a split, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, you obviously wanted to, we had opportunities to get both, and I think that's what is disappointing more than anything. And but the fact that we got one of them, it still keeps us, as we said, in first place. Would love to have had both, but came up short. We survived the 5 out of 6 stretch on the road, with only 2 losses. And going into that, I knew that was going to be a real key stretch of the season. And we made it through it, and we've given ourselves now a chance still. Now we just have to take care of business at home.
Well, and as you look ahead in the season, you had the road stretch, but coming up is just a really great home stretch for the team.
Yeah, it is, and like I said, we've put ourselves in position now to as long as we take care of the wins at home, and again, you've heard me say before, and is that the thing is, the last thing you do is relax because you're now coming home. Is that you still have to play well, and you can't just assume because you're home that you're granted a win. We still have to play very well. There's a lot of teams that have a lot to play for, and I think this is one of the things this year in particular, with the Sun Belt only taking 8 teams to the tournament. It keeps everybody in play. We're trying to win the league, and Texas State and even Ewell or Western, trying to win this thing, and everybody else trying to position. And there's some teams really just trying to make it to New Orleans. And so as we go into these last 3 weeks, everybody still has a lot to fight for.
And there's that same parity that we've been talking about all season. Anybody can beat anybody. Never goes away.
Probably more so this year than any that I've been in the Sun Belt. In that, we're as much of an example as that as anything. As we've been as good as as anybody in the league, but yet we've lost really badly to Troy, and then we lost to a Lafayette team that is really in a position to try to struggling to make the tournament. So and you see that across the board. There, as you said, a lot of parity this year in the league.
Got a lot of Brian Boyer Show coming up. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, good luck on the big date.
Centennial Bank, conveniently open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 1 to 4 p.m. Sunday at the mall at Turtle Creek, Arkansas's community bank.
So Arkansas State now 10-3 in the conference, 16-9 on the season, Coach. A big win at South Alabama, and they sort of are what you thought they were. And then maybe one of the more strange endings and a very tough loss, like you said, at ULL, and in a game that you guys came together and really had a chance to pull out at the end. Interesting couple of games.
Well, yeah, very interesting couple of games, and that the South Alabama, a little bit of a mirror image of our game with them here at home, in that we had a tough time with them. We started off, I think we were like 1 of 11 from the field to start off the game. And, they're very athletic. They don't have a lot of size, and they really tried to pack things in, and their quickness really caused us problems. We didn't finish a lot of shots. We were really rushing things and really struggled. And quite honestly, if it wasn't for our defense, we could have found ourselves in maybe too big of a hole to come back from. But our defense was as good as it's been all year. We forced 26 turnovers. We were all over the place and just flying around. It was. From a fan's perspective, the only thing that it was about like the Little Rock game at home. That's how we were flying around defensively. We were all over the place, and really that kind of just held us in within reach until finally our offense got going, and then we were able to pull ahead late in the second half.
Have you ever had a game where you shot 0 free throws in the first half and 23 in the second?
Yeah, well, no, I don't know that I ever have, but and the thing of it is it was pretty fair and honest based on us. First half, it was one of
Just for posterity's sake, don't you have to say? But it wasn't right. I mean, you can't agree with that.
No, I can. No, it was, and we were not very aggressive. We were shying away from shots. I actually, and this is a true story, there was actually one occasion with one of the officials, I was actually asking for a foul on one of our post players, and I apologized. I said, look, I'm on my play. I know we don't deserve it, but there is still some content, because we were shying away and we were rushing things, and it wasn't our normal aggressive self. Second half, it was. I mean, we got the ball inside, and our post players were attacking, and Dre Gamble was aggressive, and we didn't shy away from anything. I've always said so much in fouling and free throws is the more aggressive you are, the more free throws you're going to get, and we were much more aggressive in the second half.
Can we just make that credit to halftime coaching adjustments that you nailed that down at the half?
I don't know about adjustments. It's more of emphasis than anything, and our players did a good job of emphasizing it in the second half.
Raging Cajuns game on Saturday. There are probably some losses that keep you up at night, and I'm not trying to contribute to insomnia in coaching, but that may be one that you think about a little bit.
Yeah, it will. I mean, we were just as good as we played defensively at South Al, we were as bad at Lafayette, and just very disappointed. Now, to their credit, they have no post players. They're basically out there with 5 guards, and they do such a good job of just, basically, isolating and attacking your post players off the dribble. And we couldn't guard them. And, what's disappointing is we couldn't guard in man. We went to matchups, our zone. We couldn't guard them in that. We kept trying different things, and it never changed. We just couldn't stop them. And, despite all that, we still gave ourselves a chance. And, a team in us that has been so good in late games this year, we're up 4 with 50 seconds to go. And they have the ball, they go down, and they get a 3-point play. We foul, they score it, they hit a 3-point play. We go down, turn it over, they go down, score. We come back and score again, and we still go up 1. And then the last possession they have on offense, they get another 3-point play. They in their last 3 possessions, they scored 8 points, and they didn't hit a 3. So we just fell apart. We really, all we needed was one stop there, and we couldn't get it.
How much of that is, obviously you're disappointed, but you can use that. That's a constructive thing, a coaching point that you can really say, guys, if you do this, if you just do this, we're not talking about a loss.
Yeah, it's obviously you can't. The loss is tough, and especially this time of year. And we got a lot of things at play right now. Not only trying to win the league, but RPI continued to climb, and looking at postseason and possible seedings and things. You can't afford a loss like that right now. But if it makes us better, maybe it'll be good, because it's a message we've been trying to get across that had not gotten across, that we're not stopping people. If this doesn't get it across, I don't know what will.
Well, when we come back, we'll get across the highlights of the South Alabama game and the ULL game right here on the Brian Boyer Show.
A lot of universities define themselves by where they have been. At Arkansas State, we want to show you where we're going. Our students are the most academically prepared in our history, and our faculty are conducting groundbreaking research. We're investing in education at home and around the world through the first ever American-style campus in Mexico, and we're working on the first osteopathic medical school in the state. Educating leaders, enhancing intellectual growth, and enriching lives. At Arkansas State, that is how we will be known.
Well, as we rejoin you with the highlights segment this week, one thing struck me maybe the most about the South Alabama game. You had to get to the mythical 8 points down in the second half. What is it about that number that that spurs this team to greatness.
Yeah, as well, I think we all know it's just coincidence, but it is, something to be said for this, this team of mine. They know when to turn a switch on, and again, we've had this talk before. Is I hate it. I wish we wouldn't put ourselves in a position, but one of the great things is that we do have the ability to turn that switch on. What I liked about this time around is so often, again, when we've gotten ourselves down, our offense is what's really spurred us to come back. At South Al, it was our defense. We got down 8, and we really picked up the pressure. We started pressing a little bit, and in one straight, we created 3 straight turnovers, and we actually got ourselves back in it with our defense, and that has not necessarily been the case all year, so that was actually good to see.
On the road at South Alabama, let's check out those highlights.
Well, you see, starting here first half, and Hannah Cadan really continues to shoot the ball very well, and again, they were really packing things in the post players. See a lot of guard highlights in the first half. Drea attacking. There's Drea attacking again, and we just really struggle with our post players. There's Drea again, another jump shot. You can see, how they're just really trying to pack things in on our post players, and fortunately Drea played well, and then Hannah knocks down another 3 there. Of course, and then we talked about, too, the steals and the turnovers. Yeah, I thought in this game, actually, probably the MVP of the game was Brittany Gill. I thought that she was really, really aggressive. She got a lot of steals. That was the one you saw there with the steal and the finish. And then the other thing, too, was, while we weren't scoring inside, we did continue to get it in there, which is a good thing. Here's Brittany Gill, again, knocking down a jump shot. She just brought a tremendous amount of energy in this game. And then, of course, Drea was just very Drea-like.
Brittany with 6 steals and 12 points in the game, and if you're getting that from her off the bench, you got to like your chances in a lot of games.
Well, it's not so much. Of course, here's another steal. Of course, this is a gamble on this one here, but with Brittany Gill, it's not necessarily the points that you want to count on, but when she's getting those steals defensively, she just causes so many problems. And second half again, we really get things going. Not only with the defense, but there's Jane knocking down a 3. Here's Drea. This is when we're starting to make our push here. Gets the actual 3-point play with the layup free throw. There's Brittany Gill again with the jump shot. A little set play there, running a little cross screen for Jane to get it inside for her to score 2.
An interesting aspect of this season too is that Jalen O'Bannon has really turned into a double-double machine.
She has, and on
right
cue,
on cue.
Yeah, she is again with a rebound. She's taken a lot of pride in that, and that's a big deal. Actually, she was not a very good rebounder last year. It was an area actually she struggled in, because her mentality. She's not a very aggressive. She's more of a finesse player, and so it's been really good for her and for this team to see her actually stepping up and being much more aggressive on the boards as she's done actually now, I guess, double-double for 3 straight games, including the Lafayette game.
71-58 the final, and then it's off to see what the Cajuns are up to.
We get there's Hannah again attacking early there, and again you're going to see there's Hannah again with the attack, and then of course getting in on the offensive boards, and plenty of offensive highlights. Good pass here, high-low pass, Jalen to Jane with the finish, and like I said, plenty of offensive highlights. The disappointing thing is there aren't defensive highlights, and we just spent the majority of this game just trading baskets, in a game in which we should not be trading baskets necessarily.
It's interesting. You talked about at South Alabama, they kept you out of the paint. You scored 50 points in the paint at ULA.
Well, we did a better job of getting it inside, and one of the things with Lafayette and kind of unexpected is they didn't really change anything with us. They just defended us normal, tried to really pressure us, and you're seeing a lot of points inside. We were able to get it inside, not only with post players or guards attacking. That's a tough move there for a gamble, little jump shot off the backboard. And, offensive rebounds, doing a good job of getting it in there, getting on the boards to get scores inside. So, again, scoring offense was fine, had no complaints. Here's another high-low pass, Jalen to Jane. Did a good job of taking advantage there on the side with our size of getting it inside.
Second half was one of the more exciting second halves as far as just back and forth. 17 lead changes, something like that?
Yeah, it was, again, and you're seeing here going inside, Carlisha with a good drive, and there's Jane with the layup. And again, here's another offensive rebound, put back and getting it inside. And so again, we continue to be aggressive. Good drive here, another jump shot off the backboard. Our players did a good job. Lafayette is a really, really good help defensive team. They fly at the help, and our guards, you're seeing a lot of jump shots here, which is a good adjustment. There's another one right there, good adjustment of utilizing our jump shots over that help defense.
Andrea with 24 in this game. She had 20 in the South Alabama game, 44 points in a couple of games. It's not a bad week's work.
No, she, she just continues to do what, she has done all year, and is really, I think the most this past week you're starting to see more of her total game as, she's knocked down a couple threes and, attacking the rim, but really against this Lafayette team, a lot of pull-up jump shots. And that's a real strength of hers that a lot of players don't have. And she was able to do that. And here even another one where, very close. A lot of players would have gotten an offensive foul there. But she had great body control and was able to hold up and not get the offensive foul.
Gut check time as the clock starts to run low in this one. And the ladies just kept fighting. But like you said in the preview segment, it seemed like ULL they could come up with an answer.
Yeah, we just, and you're seeing there's 3 straight scores there. Jane, here comes actually another one, doing a good job of really getting it inside, there late. And, we had, plenty of scores and plenty of finishes. And again, it just comes down to didn't get enough stops, and especially if you want to just break it down to 3 possessions at the end of the game. But, all we needed was one of those, and we couldn't come up with it.
This week's preview, or this week's profile on Jasmine Hunt's coming up next.
Check it out, everybody. Our kids are out of their rooms.
We actually see their faces.
Oh my God, he's taller than I remember because we've got the KFC favorites bucket.
Everybody get what they want.
We love this new extra crispy boneless.
Now, they still don't talk to us. If somebody's battery runs out, then, maybe we can actually carry on a conversation.
10 pieces, any recipe, $12.99. And you know what I want? All of us being together.
Aw.
Oh.
They don't care, but I
No.
care. Aw.
The Big Easy is the place to be as Sunbelt teams look to punch their ticket to the big dance. 16 teams will go head-to-head in New Orleans. Fighting for a chance of March Madness glory. The Sunbelt Men's and Women's Basketball Championship, March 12th through the 16th at Lakefront Arena. Contact your school's ticket office today.
This week's player profile, Jasmine Hunt, Coach. If you see her, just for people who come to games, maybe you come to men's games and you see her off the court, she's got height. I mean, you look at that young lady and you think, my gosh, she could really give people fits as a matchup with her height, muscular. She just really, really sets an imposing figure in the lane.
No, she is, and has been a valuable piece to our program for now 3 years. And there's no bigger fan in the world than me of Jasmine Hunt. Love her. She, is one of those individuals that can almost be a little intimidating if you don't know her, because she's not a smiler, but is smart, has a great personality, one of the most sincere, honest, straightforward people you've ever met, and she's doing a great job on the court too. With you said that the ability, the athleticism she has. We talked a couple weeks ago, a game here against South Alabama. She saved us. Had a huge game and continues to be a part of this front line, the rotation of this front line, which has been so valuable for us.
Well, and that's been, you've got Drea and your guards, Brittany, who had such a big game, but that front line, Jalen, Jane, Jasmine, all those J's, they all really have a role, and it's been fun watching Jasmine play hers.
Yeah, it has, and again, that continues to to be the strength of this team, and that's where you see even as good as our guard play is, against South Alabama, their focal point was taking away the inside, and against Lafayette they chose not to, and we, as you said earlier, have a ton of points in the paint, so it continues to be the staple part of this team and the success of this team, and then we've been able to add obviously very good guard play around it this year too.
Here's this week's profile, Jasmine Hunt.
And here comes Andrea Pipkins to get Jasmine Hunt. And Brian Boyer. He was prompting the crowd to give Jasmine Hunt a hand. She's so used to just running to the bench real fast, he had to hold her up.
I felt good. I was kind of like, I didn't know what was going on at first, and my coach had to tell me, he's like, just stand up. They're trying, I want them to applaud for you. So I was kind of like shocked with that, but I enjoyed it a lot, and hopefully that can happen again throughout my career. So yeah.
Junior forward Jasmine Hunt has been a major contributor since arriving to Jonesboro, Arkansas via Houston, Texas. As a high school senior, she was named an ESPN Top 100 player.
I was really happy. I really didn't know that I was on the list until one of my coaches had brought it to my attention. I was really excited about it because it really caught me off guard, and so I really liked it. I was really happy about that.
Hunt played in 30 games in her freshman season and last year led A-State in games with most blocked shots. Jasmine says much of her success has come from staying positive.
I feel like I could teach them to stay positive through all the hard times. I mean, things get difficult, but as long as you stay positive, it will help you a lot during anything in life. In basketball, it doesn't matter.
Off-season programs and dedication are things Jasmine says have helped her overall improvement.
Well, I feel like I've learned to do more conditioning during the summer. I feel like that helped me out, and going harder in weights. I feel like those two things really helped me this year.
With all the success the team is having this year, Jasmine says there are still 2 team goals they want to accomplish.
We talk about making the NCAA tournament and winning the conference all the time. So those are our 2 top goals, to do that. So yeah, we talk about that every day.
Ruffins into the front court, to the top of the key. Gives to Carlisha White, out left side now for Gill. She fires it into Hunt, who turns and scores on the block. Jasmine Hunt. 15 for the junior out of Houston. It's 52.
Reporting for the Brian Boyer Show, I'm Alex Nelson.
Coach, it's funny, we talked about this on an earlier show. You take her out of the game for a curtain call, and she didn't realize what you were doing.
Yeah, it was the South Alabama home game. One of the funniest things in coaching, those things you remember is she goes off 17 points. The crowd acknowledges, our knowledgeable fans knew that something special had happened. You check her out and you're trying to get her to stay on the court to accept the applause from the crowd. She didn't know. She was ready to get to the bench, and she's done a great job for us this year. And my point of doing that was for her to be recognized for what she does for this team. Day in and day out, very unselfish, very competitive, comes to work every day. Really appreciate what Jasmine does for this team.
We're back with a look at the week ahead here on the Brian Boyer Show.
Hey, good luck on the big date.
Centennial Bank, conveniently open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 1 to 4 p.m. Sunday at the mall at Turtle Creek, Arkansas's community bank.
Check it out, everybody. Our kids are out of their rooms.
We actually see their faces.
Oh my God, he's taller than I remember because we've got the KFC favorites bucket.
Everybody get what they want.
We love this new extra crispy boneless.
Now, they still don't talk to us. If somebody's battery runs out, then, maybe we can actually carry on a conversation.
10 pieces, any recipe, $12.99. And you know what I want? All of us being together.
Aw.
Oh.
They don't care, but I
No.
care. Aw.
Well, Well, Coach, there's been a lot of talk about the road swing that your team just finished, and now there's going to be a lot of talk, and we can start that talk about the home swing that lies ahead. And fans, we need you there to help us pull out these games. I say us like I'm going to be shooting.
I got you, yeah. Well, no, yeah, there's no question. This team, I'm still, the loss after Lafayette, but very proud of this team and what they've done and the position they've put themselves in and how they handled themselves on this tough road. And, again, as we said earlier, is, you're not just granted a win because you're home. And especially this year in our league, there's been, honestly, as many home losses as maybe any year again that I've seen because of the parity. And so, again, we've got to play really well. Our last home game was a thriller, the overtime game against Western Kentucky, and I don't think there's any fan that left the building that wasn't excited and had fun with that. And hopefully we'll get all of them back this week plus and, help us down this stretch run.
First game of the week, UT Arlington, and they come in a little bit down in the standings, but like we talk about over and over, anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah, down in the standings, and but actually in the last couple of weeks is playing really, really well. They've already, the week before last, they went into Georgia State and won. They actually, really they beat this Lafayette team pretty handily last week, or excuse me, the week before last. So, they're playing well. They've got a 6'3" post player that has improved dramatically since when we saw him early in January. And last week had 34 against Lafayette and 28 against Monroe. She's really become a force for them over the last few weeks.
Then the second game of the week, Saturday, it's a big event here. The Play for K, the Pink game, and it's also the team that's right behind you in the standings. Talking, of course, about Texas State.
Yeah, a big day for us, from a basketball standpoint is, I would assume unless something were to change, we're going to go into this another game where, possibly could be us 1 and against 2, which will, obviously have some, very strong implications as we go down the stretch here with standings, but also because of the Play for K Day, a lot of great things going on with that my staff puts on, and just excited about that.
Well, and I think that's another opportunity. People see your young ladies on the team. They see them out. They see them at events. They see them giving back to the community, and this is a great example of that.
It's a great example, and it's something that I don't take credit for this, but I can certainly take a lot of pride in this day. Is that across the country, the month of February is women's basketball programs across the country put on games or the pink where they wear the pink and all this. And one of the things that a lot of programs participate, but I don't think there's anybody in the country that does more than what our staff does. And again, I take no credit for that. This goes back to Rebecca Peoples was a front runner in this and passed on to Leslie Larson. Now Shaquita Renna, they do such a good job in the way we honor our heroes, breast cancer survivors. We have a 4K run that day where we will actually raise money to donate to the KYAL Fund, which is so again, we do a lot more than just show up and participate. It's a big day for us.
Well, a big show comes to an end. We'll see you again next week here on the Brian Boyd Show.